Greetings, geeks and nerds. I'm Leeds Universe and White and Nerdy. And I would say that this is a YouTube subscriber poll time. Like what happened when my sanity broke after seeing how we went in the Birds of Prey. Um, yeah, that's not exactly what's happening here. And I'm a little upset and also disappointed about it because usually this is the thing that I look forward to is having you guys pick for your favorite things. If only 4 people were just going to be involved in the damn thing, then I'm kind of subsiding about what's the point of doing these anymore. I might give it one last go in April, but I'm just saying this right now that this is just bottom of the barrel, the most idiotic kind of thing to see happen. It's like nobody really wanted to come in here except for 4 people. So I'm still gonna do what the 4 people basically voted on, and then we'll see what happens. But I'm a little bit upset because it's like, yeah, I was kind of hoping to have much more people be interacting here with it, and unfortunately, that's not happening. Am I upset about it? Yes. Am I disappointed about it? Yes. But hopefully next month a lot more people will be involved in it because this is something that I look forward to, with having you guys vote for 4 things that I picked from my collection, and only 4 people decided to do so, so I have no idea. So, but we're continuing on the Superman path, if you can't tell, with much more Superman content coming out in June. Yes, and also I will be basically picking out Superman content, Fantastic Four content for that movie when it comes out later that week too. I don't give a crap about Jurassic Park. Sorry, Jurassic Park fans. But we're going to be jumping on something that a lot of people have told me is one of the best Superman series that you can actually watch. And do I think so? Well, that's why you guys are here today. So of course I'm going to be talking about the first season of Superman and Lois and seeing if, you know, seeing if it's worth my time, and also seeing if the world's greatest hero can become the world's greatest husband and world's greatest father. This will be my review, retrospective, whatever you want to call it, upon Superman and Lois, so if nobody had seen the first season of Superman and Lois yet, but they want to watch this review, just be forewarned that there will be spoilers. So please go and watch Superman and Lois, and then come back and watch this review, so you will be all caught up with everything. Otherwise, just be forewarned with season 1 of Superman and Lois having spoilers. Superman and Lois basically still plays on the comic books that existed around the time when this came out, with Lois and Superman having Jonathan. Now, a happy inclusion on this series was actually John's brother Jordan. More on him in just a bit. Though I do think that making the family a family of 4 is actually a pretty good inclusion of everything. And no joke, like I said, this is basically the creators asking, can Superman be the world's greatest hero, the world's greatest father, and the world's greatest husband all at the same time? And if that series sounds good on paper, but with the series you're gonna kind of hear me complain about it, but more on that in just a bit here. So let's see if the world's greatest hero can become the world's greatest husband and the world's greatest father. So let's fly down to Smallville and have us a happy old family time. Because this is it's season 1, Superman and Lois, and my review and retrospective upon it. So does this soar high with the other Superman movies in medium, or does it sink kind of down low, like in The Depths with Aquaman? Let's find out in my review and retrospective of Superman and Lois. A meteorite crashes into Earth, unleashing its lone survivor, the last son of Krypton, the only one known as Kal-El. Born as Clark Kent, Kal-El begins to have a different aspect and a different family, a different view on life. That is until his father passes away, where he tries to figure out what he's supposed to do with his life. As Clark chooses to do the best thing that he can do, to be the best person that he can be. How does he do that? By becoming the world's greatest superhero, known only as Superman. So Lois and Superman get married. They become a super couple. They become a power couple. But one of their sons, Jordan, is not so much like his brother. as a new and dangerous threat will be awakened in Metropolis, and also in Smallville, trying to take down the Man of Steel because he deems him as a threat. And can Superman basically destroy the enemy that has come to destroy him and basically make Earth a new Krypton? Only time will be able to tell. Now, the story, if it sounds familiar, that's because it basically is based off of the Geoff Johns Superman run, and specifically New Krypton. So if you're expecting them to basically do Superman Unbound, where Brainiac comes to Earth and basically tries to steal everything because he's obsessed with collecting, no, that's not what we get here. In fact, if you're thinking that you see fan favorite villains like Lex Luthor, Brainiac, General Zod, Bizarro, Parasite, any villain like that, not in season 1. Oh, you do get some of fan favorites in season 2, 3, and 4, but not here. Nope. Oh, we do get General Zod. Except it's the fucking laziest excuse to put General Zod in this. Seriously, watch this series and you'll know what I mean. But instead of doing that, they do something creative and stupid, so much so that it's stupidly creative. Because there you go. They decide to turn longtime Superman sidekick, and also in part of the Superman family, because he's from a different world, an Elseworld, mind you. They decide to make Steel into a Superman villain. Yes, Superman and Lois decide to turn Steel, one of Superman's supporting characters and one of my favorite Superman side characters, into a villain. Now, I'll give them this. It was a creative decision. It honestly kind of was interesting. Until you realize the reason why John Henry Irons wants to kill Superman.
This is what? This is boring. Delete.
No, trust me. It is. It's insanely boring. It is like the most pathetic excuse that you can think of. And if you're wondering if they use the typical trope of making Superman evil, you owe a gold sticker, because it's exactly what they always do. No interesting or intriguing ideas. No. Instead, they decide to basically take this famous character from heaven and high above, and for the first season, kind of make him uninteresting. Oh, not the actor. The actor is phenomenal. I'm just saying that they pretty much took this and milked it for all it's worth until toward the series finale, with John Henry Irons being Superman's villain. So and also they do something cute where they drop a villain name within the first half of the series, where the suit, the steel suit, called John Henry Irons a different name, making me think, ooh. Except I've already saw season 2, because I had to reorder season 1 and 3, and also Power Rangers SPD altogether. So I knew that no. But if I was watching this on TV, I probably would have went, oh, oh, no. Because we don't see that villain until season 3. It's a good build-up that we try something different. Except the Superman villain that they use in this is really dumb, I have to say. Like, no famous Superman villain, not until the later seasons. They just use Superman's evil twin. I don't know if he actually exists or not in the comic book continuity, I have no idea. But they decided to give Superman an evil twin. The less you know about him, the better. But think of the Geoff Johns Superman run of New Krypton, and you have the same idea. So why use an evil twin of Superman instead of using Brainiac? Because nobody likes Brainiac. It's not like there's somebody that's actually talking about and reviewing this series who happens to be a big Brainiac fan and was expecting to see him in the series. Not at all. Anyways, let's talk about the series' two main other characters, Jonathan and Jordan. Now, I bet that you're thinking that they're going to be focusing on both brothers. You're kind of right. Except they kind of do the golden boy trope, where they just take one character and make him more famous than the other character. Now, you're probably thinking that the series would make John Kent famous, because everybody loved John Kent from the comic books. He's Superman's son. He's basically the next son of Krypton, basically. He might not have all of his dad's abilities, but Superman still liked him because he represents a greater side of Superman, his human side. Nope. They decided to make Jordan the choir boy of the series. It's like, oh, Jordan, you're the highlight of my life. You are the basically everything to me. John, the fuck do you want? Get the fuck out of here, John. We don't care about you. We care about Jordan over here. Jordan is the only one that we're actually going to give a shit about. I'm not joking, because that's literally what happens. Yes, this series focuses more on Jordan than anything else, because they want to remind you, oh, Jordan's the precious child of Superman. He's special. I do have to say, I do like the love interest that they give Jordan, Sarah. But that only goes so far because Jordan and Sarah's relationship is a little bit weird. Now, yes, it is all a big happy family and all the Superman family members are here. That's wonderful, right? Only to a certain point, yes it is. In fact, Jordan is so much the trophy boy in this series that he takes away what his brother had going for him, which was sports and football. I understand and appreciate what they're doing, really I do, but what's the point of having a full family of supers if all you're going to do is focus mainly on one? They kind of took the super out of Superman for a majority of season 1, as you don't get to see Supes. We don't really get to see him in his costume all that much. We mostly get character development, drama, mystery, character development, fight scenes, character development, backstory, character development, big final season. That's it. That's mostly how most of it can be summed up, is that it's mostly development on these characters. Now hear me out. Elizabeth Tulloch and Tyler Hoechlin are amazing in the roles that they have been handed. They really do feel like Superman and Lois, and they are fantastic. They really do play around with the other characters a lot more, but they also focus on another Superman character who I'm pretty sure no one could care about anymore. And that's Lana Lang. I'm not kidding. They play heavy on Lana, and it's like, okay. This is not, look at me. This is not Superman 3. It's not. This is not Superman 3. Lana is a great Superman character. She's an amazing supporting character. Look at me. She's not supposed to be anywhere in the Superman series. If the series is called Superman and Lois, is this called Superman and Lana? No, it is not. I do like Lana Lang. I do. She's an amazing character. She has some great personalities, and the actress that plays her does a great job with it. It just feels so awkward that you cut from a very suspenseful moment with Superman, and then you cut to the Cushing family to see what they're doing. Sure. I mean, why not? And that's the problem. Another problem with this series is that they focus on so many characters. They do eventually have a good job of balancing them out, so you get a good time spent with this family, a good time spent with Superman and the Kents, and everything, and it kind of is a good balance. But for the first season, it's really difficult to say that it's good, because mostly you're focusing on the family. You're not focusing on anybody in particular. You're focusing on families, which is what the series wants you to focus on. Not a bad idea. It's a good and interesting thing to have happen. Yep, but one thing that I do have to say is that the series takes forever to get going, and that is not an exaggeration. Now, look, I know that these episodes are an hour long. I think that the first introduction episode is like an hour and a half long, so it really builds its time to get going. But I will say this, that the series does end up taking off, except it takes off basically around episode 6 to 8. Out of a 15 episode series, that seems a little ridiculous. It's kind of sad that, yeah, this is just about Superman saving the world, something that he'd done a long time. And I do love that the series is like, Superman has not been active for that long. He's been Superman for 20 years. I'm like, that's honestly not that long. 20 years is some people might be like, well, that's a pretty damn long time. For me, it's like, is it though? Is it really? I mean, because it seems like it's not that important. Like it's not that big of a deal or anything. And I kind of had to say, like, that was a pretty good thing to have happen. More of the characters do get more interesting, like John, especially in season 2 and 3, gets a lot more interesting, and then he has a lot more character development. And what they do with Lois in season 3, that's all I have to say for right now. They turned this amazing character and made her even more amazing and relatable. So, but Superman and Lois, as it stands, is a really good series. The problem is that it takes so long to officially get going. But when it does, it becomes quite an enjoyable ride. Sure, there's twists and turns to it, and especially, like I said, when you have an hour long of just characters doing nothing but developing their characters, or having long talkies, or you get one short scene of Superman being awesome, and then the next scene it's like, I am your father, so you have to abide by what I say. It's like, kind of really does cut you out of it. But let me just say that Superman and Lois is a wonderful series, and Tyler Hoechlin does an amazing job with the Man of Steel. But do I really recommend season 1? I kind of, unfortunately, have to really say no because of how long it takes to get going. Now listen, I know that there are people going to come into the comment section and say that this series is awesome as it is, and they're right. It is absolutely gorgeous and amazing as it is. But I can't really recommend the first season. It's kind of hard for me to say that because it just takes so long to officially get going that it seems boring. Yes, the series does eventually pick up. Yes, the series actually does become more interesting. But the ride to get there takes for frickin' ever. Yes, this series is absolutely amazing as it is, as it should be for a Superman series, but it takes so long to get started. So before I end the video here, let me just say this. Superman and Lois is actually a great series, it really is. But it feels like a long plane ride or car ride just to get there, that you have to stop every so often just to stretch your legs to make sure that you don't actually get exhausted by sitting down for too long. The characters it wants you to focus on are all well written in their own rights. And also, like I said, Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Turek, yes, they do an amazing job of being Superman and Lois, and I really did believe that they were the married couple that I've always loved. But now at the same time, every kind of episode, every so often, feels dumb. Like, this is an episode that's basically a clip show. And it should have been the first episode. Like, the first episode has a lot cut out from it, and later on in the series, where Superman's evil twin decides to basically interrupt his brother's mind, yeah, man, it really should have been just... That should have been the first episode. You'll see what I mean if you ever watch this series. Overall, I will say that yes, it's worth your time watching. Yes, it's a damn good series. Unfortunately, it takes for frickin' ever to get going, and you will notice that if you actually watch it yourself and experience it yourself. Because while you will be enjoying it, you'll be going, is anything gonna happen anytime soon? Is anything gonna happen anytime soon? Is anything gonna happen anytime soon? Oh, something happened! Oh, that was interesting. Is anything gonna happen anytime soon? Is anything gonna happen anytime soon? Is anything gonna happen anytime soon? You'll be asking that question a lot more than your kid in the back seat going, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" Or you could be asking yourself that question, wondering if you get to basically an interesting plot point. Are we there yet? No, no, we still have to wait until, like I said, around toward the middle half of the series. So Superman and Lois does get my recommendation for checking out, but be forewarned that unlike season 2 and 3, where it's a good balance of everything, while this was just a baby's first steps, it's still kind of a boring series that does get better, but ultimately you won't care to get to that later half because it's very rough to get through. So I do recommend Superman and Lois, but let me tell you, if you're not willing to have your time wasted because it takes basically until half the series before it takes off, I don't blame you if you want to skip this season and go to season 2 and 3. But that's just my honest opinions and let me know your own. But Superman and Lois did get my recommendation, but just be forewarned that it will take a long time before it gets going. So it's a good baby first step series, and it's a good series to get it out on, especially to teach somebody all about the Man of Steel.
Risk of hurting someone I really love more than I already have.
Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time I make an upload. And also join me at Twitter with the link in the description down below in case you want to talk to me, follow me, whatever, or check out what I'm doing. The best way to basically help this channel grow or support it if you want to is by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, hitting that bell icon, doing everything that you can to basically spread the word about it. And yeah, you can go and check out Superman and Lois. Just make sure that you don't have nothing to do that day while you're watching it because it takes forever to get going. And like I said, this series is an hour long after hour long after hour long, so expect it not to get going until about the 6 to 8 hour mark. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys